my second YouTube video for 2022. Today's date is the 25th of January 2022. So in front of me is the NASDAQ 100, aka NAS100, aka US20, whatever you want to call it. So I'm at a daily time frame. We've been having a sell-off for a couple of days. Market has moved over 3,000 pips to the downside. I'm sure a lot of you have taken advantage of this opportunity. So as you can see, we had a trend line here, a down trend line, sorry, an uptrend line, which was broken. That is when we started to see market dropping to the downside. This is where market started forming the down move. Let me just rectify quickly here. It broke off here, the trend line broke off here, then it started dropping massively. As you can see, it's still dropping. So I was looking at this level as my level of next support that needed to be broken, or where market might maybe bounce off, but it came to this level, broke off. So that is why it's still selling off. My next level I'm looking at as well is this level. Let me just unzoom quickly. This level right here, which is marked this is my current level. I'm looking at as my potential support level, where market might touch and then continue to the up move. Why am I saying this is a potential level? Because it was once a resistance. As you can see, two touches here, it was a resistance, and it got broken off here, then resistance turned into support, if you understand the rules of support and resistance. So that is, hence I'm saying that is the level I'm looking at. So we had a closure of some kind of a naked candle here, so meaning it might be a potential move higher. Okay, so why am I so concerned about the market going back up again? If we go back to history, let me just unzoom, go back to the past. You know what they say about the market? They say history tends to repeat itself, and what happens in the past might as well happen in the future. If you go back, you check, this is a bullish market. Most of the movement that you see on NASDAQ, it's up move, but it always drops and it always corrects. This is a market that is always buying more than selling, but there's always selling opportunities. Then at some point, eventually it will go up. Let me just give you a practical example. At this point, we were going up, we had a sell off, but it did not last longer. Market continued again, we had another sell off. Eventually we continue higher, more sell off again, we continued more. It's just a small sell off, we continue more higher. Now we're on another big sell off, which means eventually at some point this market will go bullish again. But when is it market going to go bullish? Let me just go back to a smaller time frame, but I want to explain something called structure, market structure. I like to look at market structure for you to decide either this market is going to go, when is this market going to go up. You need to first understand market structure. What is market structure? Market structure is easy to understand. If market was moving to the downside, you will have movements like this. You have a downward movement, you have a pullback, you have a downward movement, pullback, downward movement, so on and so on, pullback, downward movement. This is the same thing that will happen over and over. You have your down move, you have your pullback, then these are your points of structures. These are points of structures. If then market decides to come back and break above this level, then the structure to the downside has now been broken. Market is now going higher. That is when you look to take a buy after the pullback. Then when it continues, that's when you enter on a buy. So that is what we're looking at right now. So we have market dropping here. This is a drop. We have a drop. This is market dropping. We have a pullback. So now this is a continuation to the downside. If market breaks this current structure, then we're looking at market going higher now. Then that's when we start to buy. We'll wait for the pullback again, then the continuation, that is when we'll enter our buy trade. So for now, we wait until this level has been broken. So I'll mark it as my pullback structure. This is my pullback structure. If this level has been broken for me, that is when I might look to say, let's go for a buy on NASDAQ. This is my pullback structure. I'm on a 1 hour time frame right now. That is what I'll be looking at. Another thing, let's say for an example, we're looking at market selling off like for the whole week. One thing that might give you confirmation that it's a sell off, you then go to your you check your figures, your S&P maps, you check as to how were the figures for the day. Let me just, I'm just gonna refresh because this is like I haven't been in this page for a while. You go to your maps to check. You check all the companies that are under NASDAQ or which companies which are under S&P 500. You look at your Tesla. Let's go here. Let's look at your. We have Tesla here. Let me just get something to. Okay, you look at your Tesla performance. Tesla was performing minus 4.7. You have your, at least your Amazon was doing good. Facebook was, I'm not sure if this is updated. Netflix was not performing good. Google also is not great numbers. You have your Microsoft, at least we had a positive 0.12%, but it's not a big number. You have your Apple negative 0.4. Then you've got also another website that you can use called CNBC. You can go to CNBC, then you go to markets, then you go to your NASDAQ market. You check the performance of the NASDAQ markets. All the companies that are listed under NASDAQ, they will give us an idea as to, okay, you go to the US market because we want to check NASDAQ is under the US market. Then we go to NASDAQ market. Then we check all the companies that are under NASDAQ as to how did they perform on the day. If they were all on red, then it means it's a positive sell off. You can continue holding that sell trade. If most of the companies were blue, then and we are saying you're holding a sell, then it means you might look to maybe go for a buy. Okay, now you look your advanced Microsoft, they were negative 1.9. You've got your Adobe doing good. You've got your lot of companies, but I want to look at the major companies. But if you check, you've got a mixture of red and blue. You've got, okay, there's more blues. That is why market recovered. But you've got a mixture of everything. It's more of a mixed market. It was more of a mixed market yesterday. It was more of a mixed market, but the major focuses will be to look at the major companies that are listed under NASDAQ. That is what is going to give you an idea as to, are we looking to continue holding a sell, or we taking our profit and walking away. Let me just look at my watch list. I've got my watch list, my top 10 companies under NASDAQ, which I focus on when I'm looking at the NASDAQ. Let's go quickly. So if you're looking for trading signals and advice as to when to take your entries, you can contact me on the number on screen, which is 07855808189. Then I'll assist you with your entries as to how to take your trades, your buys and sell. Okay, so now these are a list of companies that I have on my market watch. I've got your Netflix, which was performing bad, negative 2.60. You've got your advanced Microsoft, which was also not performing good, 1.92 drop. We've got your Tesla, which was not also performing good. Practically, you've got more reds than the blues, meaning it was a good day to continue selling. But if now, today, these numbers change to blue, then you might look to buy. But I'm not saying trade based on this. You look at your technical first. If your technical confirms if it's going to be a great buying opportunity, then you can look to continue with whatever direction that the market is saying. But the fundamentals are just there to support the technical. That is how I look at it. So, but mainly I focus on the charts. Mainly I focus on what is happening on the charts. Okay, before I finish the video, let me just check for you as to if market continue to sell off. Where are we looking to enter? What will give us an idea if market is continuing to sell off? My network is so slow. I don't know what's happening. Okay, yeah, internet is back now. Okay, so now what one will do, maybe to, it depends on your entry trades as to how do you take your entries when you trade your NASDAQ or whatever. But what I will do to know if this thing is continuing for a sell off, I would look to sell once it drops below this point. Again, I would put maybe some kind of a pullback trend line from, but I'll go down on a smaller time frame. Maybe I'll go on 15-minute time frame. 15 minutes time frame. Then where is my 15 minutes? I'll go down to 15 minutes time frame. I will then place some kind of a pullback trend line from this point. I'll have a line like this from the low to this current low. Then I will look to sell once market breaks and close below this level, meaning I would only look to sell maybe below, but practically I will look to sell maybe below 14,200. If it breaks below this level, then I'll look to sell until maybe this level, because this level can now act as well as a new support. You never know. Then when it gets to this level, if it breaks below, I can continue higher, sorry, lower. Then that will be your trade to the sell off side. But now if you're looking to buy, then again you want to wait for the market to break what this market structure, this down structure. This is what our last point of structure, going down. If it breaks this level, then you wait for the market to make a pullback, you enter at the pullback. That's a safer trade than to just enter because it came here, then the next thing it was just a fake breakout, then it continues to the downside, then you're at a loss. Okay, thank you for watching this video, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that I keep on posting more and more content.